with the Wellness Place and R&R Wellness, we are hosting a variety of experiences that some people have experienced before, some people have tried, but also new things that I've experienced when I've traveled around the world. And when we're looking at holistic wellness, there's so many things that we can do to help our bodies and our minds along. And I think I just wanted to share those experiences with everybody. And I didn't see why Ghana should be left behind from the rest of the world. So yes, we've been hosting wellness experiences for 4 years now. Our first one came off the back of the pandemic, where we were all stuck in our homes, not interacting with anybody, scared to leave the house. And a year after the pandemic began, we had our first yoga and brunch morning, which was more of a brand activation. But what we learned from the back of that is that people were yearning for more get-togethers that were wholesome, where we were looking after our physical wellness as well as our mental wellness, and then building a community. And that was the origin of our wellness festivals. And after doing the wellness festivals for a few years, we just felt that it needed a permanent home, and that wellness isn't something that you can do once a year or twice a year. It's something that should be part of your everyday rituals. So hosting the experiences turned into creating this space. I know it's cliche to say, but it's finding your people, finding your community. You know, one thing I noticed when I was going and hosting these events is that people turned up on time. People turned up with expectations of having a great day, physical and mentally. So we lined up a situation where you weren't just coming to work out. You were working out, you were meeting new people, you were eating amazing food, and you were also taking care of your mental health, because we had, you know, mental health therapists doing sessions. We also did like vision boarding and coaching. So we were taking care of your holistic wellness, and then loads of different brands came on board to be part of that as well. So it was just finding your tribe, and we call them our wellness tribe. And if you've never been to one of our experiences, you have to come to kind of see what that's all about. And now we have so many other events. We have our run club with Vine, Accra restaurant. We have our secret sessions, and we do loads of satellite events. So even if you don't come into our physical, the wellness place, our wellness space, you can attend one of our events at any given time. Quiet luxury, I don't know, that's usually associated with fashion, high-end fashion with no labels. But I suppose if you look at it, we're hosting high-end experiences that are about your wellness and your holistic wellness. And I think that sometimes your health, some people see it as a luxury, you know, you don't think about your health until you have to. And we would prefer a situation where people get ahead of their mental and physical wellness before they have a healthcare situation. So we prefer people to do diagnostics, you know, look after yourself on a day-to-day basis so that you don't have to now be an afterthought. And I think the luxury is in taking care of your mind, your body, and your soul. I don't know if we have any set rituals when it comes to our events. What we just make sure we do is we do things to a very high standard. We don't take anything by chance. We cross off every single possibility that could take place, at least we try to, and we bring in the best of the best. So the best practitioners, the best mental health therapists, the best yoga instructor, the best Pilates instructor, the best life coach, for example. So, you know, these are the things that we make sure that we ensure our standards are high. So when people come in, they get a full and fantastic experience and leave feeling better than they arrived. I think it's the standard. And I mean, it's sad to say because, you know, we expect a low standard in Ghana, and I think things are changing. And as we continue raising the standards and consistently having a high standard, people also do the same. And I think with more new businesses and younger people getting into business, you can expect much higher standards across the board. But I think that one of the things is just that we give more than you expect, and you're gonna come and leave with lots of great imagery, lots of content, and having had a good time and met new people as well. So I think that's one thing that we can guarantee for anybody that comes to one of our events. We pray before every event. Myself and Gigi, we always just pull ourselves into a little corner and ground ourselves and, you know, ask God to give us a good event, let it meet the people's expectations. In fact, let it exceed people's expectations for it to be safe and for everything to go well. But personally, myself, I have to have my everyday, I don't want to call them rituals, but the things that I do on a daily basis that get me set for the rest of the day. So, I mean, first thing in the morning, I get up and I get ready to go to the gym, but in that process, I have my quiet time. So, you know, I soak myself in the Word, do my prayers, and then I get ready, and the first thing I do is work out. After that, I get ready, get the kids off to school, and then get myself ready for the office. And that is my literal everyday routine, which I think it's made the difference in my life. It helps me to be more organized and more alert and more in tune with what is going on. I really enjoy my alone time. That's what rest looks like for me. I'm a mother, a wife, I've got 3 kids. I have a business or 2 and hire a number of people. So there's very few times where I find myself by myself. I'm also a daughter, cousin, sister, all of the things. So when I do get the rare occasion where I can be alone, I do truly treasure it. And I do make intentional time to have that peace by myself. And I think, yeah, I think that's when I really get to rest. You have to carve out and be specific about those things. Otherwise, you'll find that you'll never get to rest. It's about having a routine, a bedtime routine, a wake-up routine, and it being as non-negotiable as possible. Of course, things come up and get in the way during the day, and you may not always meet your bedtime, but I try my best to be in bed by a specific time, and I have all these apps that track and devices, wearables that track, you know, my heart rate, my sleep, my calories, my, you know, general readiness. So I'm very intentional about tracking my wellness goals. A slow day would probably be like a Saturday for me. Not so much anymore since this place has opened, because we find ourselves doing a lot of events on Saturdays. But for me, it would just be to wake up a little bit later than usual, do some kind of workout, probably not as intense as the ones I do during the week. Maybe go out and have a nice breakfast, come to the wellness place, use some of the recovery equipment, maybe have a massage, and just take it very slow. Not have any time limits or time restrictions on my day. Normally you're running to a very tight calendar and schedule. The perfect day would be no schedule, just going with the flow. I don't think any one particular moment from our past session stands out to me, but I think generally when our run club, for example, with Vine, every time we go, it gets bigger and bigger and people meet. Personally, I'm not a runner. I don't run. Before I used to say I'll never run. You'll never catch me running. But because of the run club, I've actually started trying to run. And I joined, we have 3 groups. We have the runners, we have the run walkers and the walkers. I joined the middle group, but my people are all runners. So I find myself alone in that group every time, but I start alone, but I don't finish alone. So every time I do the run, I meet somebody new. We, you know, either run together and don't speak the whole way, but, you know, we have that sense of community and drive and determination, or, you know, we get to know each other and you create new relationships. So it could be friendships that you're creating, it could be business relationships, or it could be romantic relationships that people are getting to create. And I love the fact that it's growing and the community is growing, not just people that care about their health, but also just about making new connections. I think that's something that really stands out for me. And then also people just being vulnerable. Our Wellness Fest, we tend to have these sessions with a mental health therapist that I mentioned. And people genuinely talk about their lives and get to experience vulnerability with like-minded people who are probably going through the same or similar things. I think that those always stand out to me, and it makes it very meaningful what we do. When they walk in, I just want them to feel like, okay, I found my people. I found my tribe. I shouldn't be anywhere else but here. And when they leave, I want them to just want to experience it on a regular basis, whether it's through becoming a member of the wellness place or ensuring that they're on our mailing list and getting all of our newsletters, or they're coming to one of our satellite or off-site events. 5 years ago, coming up to 6 years ago, we experienced a worldwide pandemic, which brought all of us to a grinding halt, like nobody was exempt in the entire world. And it's a very rare occasion when the entire universe is going through the same thing. And it made a lot of us look inwards. We were also very scared for a long period of time. And then making it through, we had to start reassessing, realigning our lives, whether it was our health, whether it's our relationships. And I think that having gone through that and the world moving back to being so fast after it, a lot of people are very keen on taking a step back and figuring out what works for them, how to make their lives holistic, wholesome, and richer, not just constantly chasing something that can be taken away in the blink of an eye. So I think that's why people are craving like slow and meaningful experiences rather than the constant rat race. Or it's just a simple fact that people are in a constant rat race. We're constantly trying to achieve more, trying to do more, and sometimes you just have to be intentional about taking time out and looking after yourself and being selfish in that respect. In one sentence, people should join our wellness tribe and book one of our experiences or attend one of our experiences, because we're all the same when it comes down to it. And we all have one life to live, which can change in an instant. So it's important to be intentional and to focus on our wellness on a holistic level. I'm not the most social person. I'm actually quite an introvert, but I recognize the importance of gathering. Not to use a pun, but gathering is important. And as much as I shy away from it, because like I said, I like my quiet time, I know that it's also needed. We need to feed off each other. We need to spend time with each other. We need each other to move forward. No man is an island. We don't live in a vacuum. We all need to find our people. So that's it. It wasn't one word, it was several.